Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today I'll start chapter 8 of 8th class polity and CRT, that is confronting marginalization. The chapter discusses the experiences of marginalized groups in India such as Adivasis, Dalits, Muslims and women who have fought against inequality and discrimination. They have adopted various strategies including religious solace, armed struggle, self-improvement, education and economic uplift. The chapter explores how these groups challenge existing inequalities, the Constitution of India and the government's policies to promote their access to development. So invoking fundamental rights. Okay. So what do we actually mean by Dalit? Dalit means broken. Use the term to highlight centuries of discrimination within the caste system. The constitution, which outlines democratic principles, includes fundamental rights for all Indians. The marginalized use these rights to force the government to recognize injustice and enforce laws. Article 17 of the Constitution abolishes untouchability, allowing the Dalits to educate themselves and access public facilities. Article 15 of the Constitution states that no citizen shall be discriminated against based on religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. This has been used by Dalits to seek equality where it has been denied. Laws for the marginalized. Okay, in the left side, in this within this pink box, it is a poem by Soirabai, whose wife of Bhakti poet Chokha Mela questions the idea of purity and suggests that pollution, a key tool of the caste system, occurs from within, not through work. Dalits can invoke fundamental rights in situations where they feel that they have been treated badly by individuals or communities. They have drawn attention to the constitution, demanding that the government abide by it and do justice to them. Other minority groups have drawn on the fundamental rights section of the constitution, particularly the right to freedom of religion and cultural and educational rights. The constitution aims to ensure cultural justice to these groups, preventing them from being dominated or wiped out by the majority community. The government also creates specific laws and policies for the marginalized, such as providing free or subsidized hostels for Dalit and Adivasi students in tribal areas. If you want, you can pause the video and have a look at this yellow color box. The reservation policy in India aims to end inequity in the system by granting seats in education and government employment to Dalits and Adivasis. The policy works by having governments and central government list scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and backward castes. Students applying to educational institutions and government posts must provide proof of their caste or tribe status. If a specific caste or tribe is on the government list, they can avail of reservation benefits. Governments also define cutoff marks for admission to professional education institutes, offering special scholarships for these students. Protecting the rights of Dalits and Adivasis. So Kabir, in the left side you can see within this pink box, picture of Kabir has been given. So Kabir, a 15th century Bhakti poet, emphasized the freedom of ritual and priests, valuing the work of ordinary people. In India, laws protect the rights of marginalized communities like Dalits and Adivasis. In a real life case, Ratnam, a Dalit student, refused to perform a ritual, angering powerful castes and his own community. Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. So Ratnam, a Dalit man, was ostracized by the powerful castes in his village, leading to his family's forced relocation. Ratnam filed a complaint under the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 to protest against the domination and violence of the powerful castes. The act was framed in 1989 to address the ill treatment and humiliation faced by Dalits and tribal groups. Dalit groups in southern India demanded new laws to list the various forms of violence against Dalits and prescribe stringent punishments for those who indulged in it. The case was picked up by local media and led to journalists visiting the village. So same here, if you want, you can pause the video and have a look at this pink color box, what is given in it. So in the poem Kabir challenges the priest to seek knowledge in his heart, arguing that untouchability comes from the belief in the concept of untouchability. He describes how every human body is made of blood and air, and everything in the world is created by touching something. Kabir reinterprets the word untouchable to mean not being touched by narrow limiting ideas. The Adivasi people in 1970s and 1980s organized themselves and demanded equal rights, land and resources. They faced violence from powerful social groups, leading to the creation of Adivasi Act. The act identifies several levels of crimes, including physical and moral humiliation, dispossession of resources, and crimes against Dalits and tribal women. The act seeks to both punish and influence the way we think and act, highlighting the complexities of human behavior and the importance of understanding and respecting the rights of all. Next one is about the scourge of manual scavenging. Manual scavenging is the practice of removing human and animal waste from dry latrines using brooms, tin plates, and baskets. It is mainly done by Dalit women and young girls, with 13 lakh people employed in India. Manual scavengers face health hazards, infections, and low wages. The Indian Constitution abolished the practice of untouchability in 1993, but they continue to be considered untouchable. In 2003, the Safai Karmachari Andolan filed a PIL in the Supreme Court, claiming manual scavenging continued in government undertakings like railways. The court directed every department to verify the facts within 6 months, and if manual scavenging was found to exist, a time bound program for the liberation and rehabilitation would be implemented. You can see how few of the member of Safai Karmachari Andolan demolishing a dry latrine. Obviously, that is very humiliating for the one who cleaned them by using their bare hands, right? So Adivasi demands under the 1989 Act. The 1989 Act is crucial for Adivasi activists who defend their right to occupy land traditionally theirs. They argue that those who have forcibly encroached upon tribal lands should be punished under this law. The Act confirms the promise made to tribal people in the Constitution that land cannot be sold to non tribal people. C.K. Janu, an Adivasi activist, argues that governments in India violate these rights by allowing non tribal encroachers to exploit tribal land and forcibly evict tribal people from their traditional forests. In cases where tribals have been evicted and cannot return to their lands, they must be compensated by the government. The Scheduled Tribes and Other Traditional Forest Dwellers Recognition of Forest Rights Act 2006 aims to undo historical injustices against forest dwelling populations by recognizing their rights to land, resources, and conservation of forest and biodiversity. So here our chapter ends. If you want, you can pause the video and have a look at the glossary section of this chapter. So thank you so much for today's class.